You'll have even yet again a better story about Organo the company and Organo the brand. And that's really important to us, that we help you. If we help you help us, that's good, right? If Organo the company helps you, the distribution partner, do better. So if the company helps you help the company, it's better. So there needn't be friction. And one of the things we do every day, working with the Organo executive team, is to try to reduce friction. Friction in our workflows, friction in our business processes, friction in logistics, all the challenges and the added friction that came from COVID. They were very good, they did a very good job of working through all of that and breaking down those frictions and those impediments to growth. You know, 2020 was the fastest growing year at Organo in 7 years. 2020, what was in 2020? COVID. Couldn't even do a meeting. And it's the fastest growth the company had in 7 years in 2020. I mean, kind of counterintuitive. Maybe it's because everybody was sitting at home just working. I don't know. I really don't know the answer. But I know the numbers. And I'm very impressed by all of that and all the people that made that happen. So we all work really hard and we try to work smart. We don't always make it. We don't always hit the mark on the smart. Sometimes we make mistakes. The company makes decisions that make mistakes. But just know that no matter what we do, we always do it for the right reason. Our why for doing it at the company is always geared correctly. The intention is always good. But sometimes it just doesn't work, so we stop it and do something else. It's like anything else. Anybody here ever made a mistake and you had to stop it and do something else? Right? Everybody? Yeah, of course. So we all do that. Everybody should say, yeah, admit that, and move on. That's how it works. Because you can't make progress by moving backwards, and you can't make progress by getting stuck in a story that doesn't matter. You can only make progress by moving forward and through things and giving something that's not exactly right about 2 seconds of your time to learn from it and then just move on. And I know you guys, you must be very good at that, because if you're good at this business, then you have to be good at that, right? Because what you do is not easy. I tell these folks every day, right? That what those distribution partners are, that's why we don't call you distributors anymore. We give our DPs the title of distribution partners. Not because it's such a big difference between distributor or distribution partner, but I want the company executives to all think of you as partners, and you're a partner in the business with them, helping the company distribute its products to the marketplace. It's not that big of a deal. It's not really, it's more of a nuance maybe, but words are very powerful. Are words not powerful? A word is powerful. The wrong word is really powerful. Would you agree with that? The wrong word at the wrong time, or even the wrong word at the right time, wow, can create a whole mess. Wars have started over words. Families have been broken up over words. Words are very powerful. But when used properly, positioned properly, words can be amazing. And so I decided we wanted to kind of make sure we cemented in the minds of all of the Organo executives that we have distribution partners, because people, just psychologically, people treat partners differently than if there's a separation. It's a psychology. So that was done more for psychology. I've had people that have been with Organo a long time, or used to be with Organo, now they come back and now they're not distributors anymore. They're distribution partners. Well, what's that mean? So I'm just telling you that's why that is. It's just a shift. That's all. Little pivot inside the corporate structure. That's all. From a products perspective, well, first of all, let's not start at products. Let's start at opportunity. I think the Organo experience, I don't even call it the Organo opportunity. I call it the Organo experience. I want someone's relationship with this company to be an experience. If I just say it's an opportunity, it's subject to a yes or a no. It's kind of like a noun. It's an opportunity. But if I say we're going to experience, now we have an opportunity to give that person a great experience, a life-changing experience, a profitable experience, a positive experience. And it's more about how they feel about it than it just being this hard thing like a noun. So I call it the organo experience. I've tried to socialize that in the company, and I haven't been very successful. So if anybody has any idea how to make that work, I really appreciate hearing it from. I mean, I don't know. I've tried to. So I talk about it that way all the time. The organo experience, because I want people having an organo experience. I don't really. Opportunity's one thing. Opportunity's everywhere. You want an opportunity to make a little extra money, you can go get an Uber and lend your car to Uber and drive it. You can make money like that. People can make money like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But what kind of an experience? Is that a life-changing experience? Does that give people a chance to put their dent in the universe? No, but it gives them a chance to put a little dent in their own universe in a positive way. If that extra money from driving the Uber car lets them have less stress every month because they make a little extra money and they can pay their bills better. So it's a positive thing, right? None of this is negative, it's just degree of positive. So the organo experience yields an opportunity to build something that I don't know how you can build it anywhere else. I don't know. With the amount of capital that someone has to, time, energy, and effort, and whatever money they choose to put into building their business, it's minimal compared with the potential for this type of lifestyle and this type of income. And you know, there's a shift at some point between income and wealth. Do you agree with that? Income is when you work for your money, wealth is when your money works for you. But to get to wealth, you have to have money to start working for you. So to get the money, you have to have income. So to get the income, you have to work. So this is not a lazy person's thing. This isn't a fly-by-night, get rich quick, watch the TV at 2 a.m., call the 800 number, get your box, push it in, and start failing at real estate deal. This isn't that. This isn't the how you go online and, oh man, I just got the latest, I'm going to be a cryptocurrency bazillionaire. Probably you're not, but if you want to do that deal, go ahead. But that's all right, because that's just a degree of positive. But the potential doesn't even exist, but people don't even know that. The long-term potential. So if most people were to ask themselves this question, most people that you'll ever run across. I like to ask people this, but I'm kind of outward and I don't mind asking people anything. Some people are not, but if you were to ask most people, if you do for the next 2 years what you've done for the last 2 years to improve your financial circumstance, where are you going to be 2 years from now? People think about that for a sec. And they realize they're going to have to make a change if they want that answer to be that they want to be in a better place. Otherwise, they're just going to be stuck in the same place or worse off if they keep doing what they've done. Now, if what they're doing is yielding some great result because they have this organo experience going for them, then their answer could be, well, if I keep doing what I'm doing for another 2 years, that's pretty good. I'll tell you right now, if Abby Aikiola keeps doing what Abby Aikiola is doing with organo right now for 2 more years, holy moly. Abby Aikiola's reality is going to be this way, not this way or this way. And I think that's probably true for all of you because you're here. You're serious about this. But just like degrees of positive, there are degrees of commitment that people have to something. And that's like hard to manage sometimes, isn't it? Expectations of other people. Have you ever succeeded like expecting things from other people all the time? Will they disappoint you? Will people ever disappoint you if you expect them to do something? Yeah, like always, right? You know why? It's not because they're out of whack. It's because your expectations are out of whack. It's not them, it's you. It's us, it's not them. They're the prospect, or they're the new person, or they're the whatever. So you have to really, I think, drill in. I mean, people ask me all the time, how would you do this if you were a distribution partner, Mr. Caldwell? And I say, well, I guess I would just roll my sleeves up and go to work. And I'd just be talking to everybody about the Organo experience and asking them questions. I think the answers would be in the questions. I don't think I'd tell them anything. I think I'd just ask them about them, right? That's what I would do. I would just ask them things like, hey, man, this inflation's crazy. Are you feeling it? Yeah, I'm feeling it, man. Groceries. I would just say something like, I bought groceries, and I think my wife says like $150 more than normal we're paying. Jeez. Yeah, me too. And I'd say, well, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about that? How are you bridging that gap? You driving Uber? What are you doing? No, man, I got time for that. I'm just not shopping at the Central Market anymore. I'm over at the Aldi. We're just shopping at the Aldi and we're saving money. People will tell you all kinds of crazy things. All kinds of things. But you know, none of them are wrong. None of them are wrong. Because every single person you talk to, whatever they say to you, it's right for them. It might not be right for you, but it's right for them. And you have to, I think we have to honor that. And the more honoring of others we do, and their perspectives and their opinions and their beliefs, the more honoring of that we do, the better off we'll be as a company globally. And the better off your organizations will be if you get really good at that, right? Because that's what really, really matters. When you start to talk to new people, what an opportunity. Right now, we have the, and I don't know if you know this data or not, but I'm going to share some data with you. Right now, the direct selling profession has not experienced an opportune time like this for growth since 1978. Given the current economic conditions, given that everybody is thinking about money, economy, inflation, extra money, needing more, not less, what can I do? Even people that are lazy are trying to figure out how to not be lazy anymore. And that's a miracle, because lazy people are just lazy. You know, I don't know how to motivate a lazy person. I mean, Abby probably does, because he can motivate anybody, but you know, he's good at it. He really cares. You know, he knows how to do it, and he talks to people and probably makes them become better versions of themselves. I'm not excellent at that. I just think you're lazy. That's okay. I honor that you're lazy. I don't expect anything from you because you're lazy. That's how I approach that. But I think that with this Organo experience, you have a time, you have a point in time right now that maybe it's not going to come around for another 30 years. And I don't know how long, I don't know how wide this window opens. I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't have a clue. I do know that the Fed chairman just said this morning that the Fed's going to continue to raise interest rates as long as inflation exists. Now the market's expected him to decrease rates. Now I get up every morning very early and I'm on with our markets guys. And we're deciding on what we're going to do in the day with a portfolio, if anything, in the public markets. So everybody was on pins and needles this morning on what's the Fed chairman's perspective. Well, he gave us his perspective late last night here when he made an announcement in a conference that they were going to keep raising rates. What's that do to the stock market? Puts a little pressure on it. That's all in people's minds. Everybody watches the news. Everybody watches the news. So the people you talk to, I think if you talk with them about the Organo experience, I think you share that with them. I think if it becomes an experience for them and you make it a great experience for them, and care about what they care about, you'll learn a lot too, by the way. You'll find out that you can get interested in things that you might not otherwise ever get interested in. Just because you get in and participate with them a little bit about something they are interested in. It's exactly how I got my wife interested in baseball. My wife hated baseball. Absolutely hated baseball. But I love baseball. I grew up with baseball. I played baseball. Baseball is my sport. So I couldn't have a wife that didn't like baseball. That's difficult, right? So, especially when I had 2 boys, you know, I can't drive them around to all baseball games all the time. I gotta get my wife on board. So how did I get her on board? I put my boys in baseball, and I had her take them there, so she could get around baseball. Now you can't get my wife away from baseball. And we have a 16-year-old, 17-year-old now that's being highly recruited around the country as a baseball player. And we're very proud of him. But he had that environment because he was able to have that what? Baseball experience and support. So I think of all of you, and if you think of yourself as like my wife, and all these prospects and these new people in your organization are the kids, you got to give them an environment they can grow in. You got to give people an opportunity. And everybody matters to whatever extent they want to matter. If you do that, and you don't become a king, you become like Mr. Abiyakiola or Mike here, and you become a king maker, you don't have to worry about being a king, right? Because from a financial perspective, in this business model, all the kings enrich you always. So it's not necessarily about you being a king or us being kings. Let's go out and help a whole bunch of people and let's just see what happens. It's kind of that simple. Let's. That's okay. There's a lot of allergies around this day. Have you looked at the allergy count? It's super high. I know. I had a lady in my office, she was sneezing her head off this morning. I was in there earlier. I get it. Allergies. I've never had allergies, but I feel bad for people that have allergies because they just can't control it. It's got to be miserable trying. You can sneeze anytime you want to. You don't have to hold it. I know it's miserable if you have to hold the sneeze. So I just want you to know that I believe you have great leadership. I think you are all leadership here, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here if you weren't already leaders in your own right. And I think to the extent that you focus on growing leaders and you invest, here's how we look at it in our company. I'll just give you our firm's opinion and you can apply it to your business or not. But I think it can work for you. I think so. We have this thing in our firm called a team, right? T-E-A-M, team. That's all the people in our firm. And we all work together. But in order to get the success in our firm, evaluating businesses, it's all financial stuff for the most part. Some of it's operational. And then some of it's out there like this inside our portfolio where I'm meeting with the people that matter in those companies. In Organo, that's you. In another company, Peter and I might be in a boardroom somewhere up at the Post Hotel at the Oak Room or something, meeting with CEOs and board members on a different day. So we just do that. We meet with the people that matter inside our portfolio companies. And for me, and for Peter, and for us, that's not the Organo VPs all the time, that's you. So here's what I think can matter to you. If you look at your team, your TEAM team, and you say, wow, where should I invest my TEEM team? TEEM, time, energy, effort, money. So you figure out where within your TEAM you should invest your TEEM, you'll be a whole lot better off. Instead of wasting your TEEM on things that don't matter. Because you know you waste a minute, it's gone. You waste a minute, it's gone. You waste an hour, it's gone. Waste a day, well, that's gone too. Any time you waste is gone. So I like to look at my time as an investment. So when Abby asked me, hey, could you come talk to all the people? I think it would be great for them to hear a little bit of the vision, or a little bit from you. I said, sure. I didn't even know what I was going to talk about. You saw us up here talking. What we were talking about, I said, what do you want me to talk about? He said, whatever you want to talk about. I said, well, okay, I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about. He said, that's good. I said, okay. I mean, that's what we were just talking about, just up here. I didn't come here with a plan. I came here with Peter. I mean, I'm just here to visit with you. That's all. And help you out however I can. But do not waste your TEEN, your time, your energy, your effort, your money. And here's how the Organo corporate staff is trained and geared to address that for you. Have you noticed how the content, the Organo content and the images and the pictures and the marketing that comes out, have you noticed how high quality that is? Have you seen the quality of some of the messaging that goes out? It's compared to 2018, I promise you, if you didn't ever see this before, compared to 2018, it's upgraded and beyond. It's upgraded and beyond, and it's getting better and better and better. That's important, because that helps you create a better Organo experience for people. New products, new markets, that helps you create a larger potential for opportunity, because more people can participate, right? So the idea is that as you participate and as you grow, please do not waste time, energy, effort, and money in your business. Think about your time as an investment that gets a return. Your energy as an investment that gets you more energy, right? Your effort as an investment that increases and multiplies your efforts throughout your organization through this business model. And your money as a precious resource that if used wisely, and you actually look at it as though something that you can use wisely to grow your business, not to impress others, but to help you impress upon others the Organo experience. Then it can matter. I know this business pretty well now. I've been dealing with it for 3.5 years at different levels, all over the world, Organo. I've been all over the world. I go all over the world anyway. We have portfolio companies around the world, but with this particular company, this is sort of I believe this company is going to be something that your children and your grandchildren will be knowing just as well as we all know IBM or Apple or any great brand. That's what we're working on. And you have an opportunity to be a part of that. But more importantly, you have an opportunity to be the creators of that. The creators of that. And then what? Yield the benefit from all that work. Because this business takes work, right? I mean, does anybody here think this doesn't take work? Do you think you're just going to do this by getting on your phone or something and sending out text messages? I just want to make sure, because we got to have a special talk if anybody here thinks that you're just going to send text messages and succeed. Does anybody think that? Whew. Because there are people that think that. I mean, there really are people that think that. I'm just going to get on my phone, boop, text messages, and everybody's going to get in the thing, and I'm going to be, wow, awesome. I don't have to think about it anymore. There are direct selling opportunities that would encourage you to do that, and that's all you have to do. And unfortunately, they're allowed to stay in business for some reason. I don't know why. I think there should be better regulatory filters. Frankly, I'm not a regulator, but I'm not a regulatory guy. I'm a free markets guy, 100%. But sometimes there are just things out there, not just in this bit, but everywhere. There are franchises out there that people shouldn't be allowed to buy because they're awful. But you can buy them and waste your money, and then, when your little lemonade shop dies, you just wasted your money. It's a shame. I don't like that stuff. But people have to make decisions. We all make decisions. And those people, when they're deciding if they want to become part of the Organo ecosystem or not, they should be able to have an opportunity to understand the why, the what, and the how. Why they should want to be a part of the organo ecosystem, what we do at Organo, and how we do it, and how they can do it, how they can participate to be successful. It's all golden circle. If you don't know what golden circle is, go find out what golden circle is. Because golden circle will have you always start on why, and then understand why you're doing something, what you do, and then how you do it. Leadership steps in on the how you do it. The why someone else might want to do this is up to her. It's up to her why she might want to do this. But she doesn't know what to do or how to do it. So leadership steps in. The what we do and what to do is easy. It takes me 10 minutes. But the how to do it, that's the other thing. How to do this and succeed. That's the beauty of a duplication cycle, a duplicable process that everybody can follow, that everybody can adhere to. It's not about techniques. Principles are what the duplication cycle is based on, principles for success. You're going to have your own techniques on how you get things done. Hopefully they're integrous. Because if you have the technique that, well, I'm just going to go out and lie to everybody about this. I'm just going to go out and tell them they can make $100,000 in their first 6 days with Organo, you know, and that'll get everybody interested. Well, it might get some people interested, not smart people, but some people, so you'd have a bunch of dumb people interested. So, no success happens from that kind of stuff, ever. So if you take it seriously and you focus on how you diffuse your time, energy, effort, money in your business, and how you use your resources and yourself properly, I think that anyone can succeed. With the things Organo's put in place, it's very interesting. We have people succeeding online that don't even want to, you can't even get, I can't even get some of these online 6-figure income earners to agree to come on to a Zoom and tell everybody how they did it. They don't even care. They're like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to wake up and do my FaceTime thing with my coffee and have coffee with Maria, and have my customers. You know, I got 8,000 of them customers now online. This one person, this lady has no clue. She has no interest in being part of an event or building a group. All retail. But you know, if you think about that, how beautiful is that? How would you like to have her in your group with that much volume? Would you care if she wants to say hi to anybody or not? No. You shouldn't care. Because she's just driving volume. She does online stuff. That's all she wants to do. She has no interest in getting out of her house. So should we tell her, we want you, no, you got to do it the Organo way. You have to have a meeting. You got to bring all these people. All these people have to come to a meeting and see what we have. Really important, or you can't succeed. Now, if somebody had told her that when she first started, that she had to do that, what would she have done? Not this. Not this. Because that's not what she wanted to do, right? Somebody was smart with her and just said, do whatever you want. And she said, okay. Wow, that's different. Nobody tried to push her into our box, or your box, or his box, or his box. They let her be in her box. And what we've done at Organo is we've said, well, wait a minute. We can't just push people into boxes. We can't turn guys like Abby Akiola into gods. He's just a guy. I'm just a guy. He's just a guy. You're just a gal. Just a lady. I mean, come on. So we can't do that. What we have to do is we have to say, look, this opportunity, this Organo experience is good for everybody and anybody. Economically disadvantaged, unbanked, underbanked, wealthy people, middle class, black, white, Chinese, Mexican, I don't care. None of that stuff matters. None of it matters. You have to be agnostic to all of it and invite everybody to participate in this organic experience. When you do that, and you do that with a clear conscience and a true intention, here's what you're going to find. People know that. People know that. And they know you're going to be behind them. You're going to be with them. You're going to be right there with them. And when you get other people that know you're going to be right there with them, and they see you can do it, and you help them understand they can do it too, what happens? You all are leaders. You understand that, right? That when you help somebody that maybe doesn't believe they can do this, was there ever a time in here when anybody has felt like they couldn't be successful in network marketing? You've had a time, right? Anybody felt like they couldn't be successful? Yeah, Abby, yeah, exactly. You know why? Because that's natural. When something's new, of course you think that. And you might have some rough roads, some hard times, some big waves, some bad decisions, maybe even bad decisions that affect you, but you didn't even make the bad decision, somebody else did, but it affected you. But how do you deal with that stuff, right? That's important. Well, if that person knows that you're there with them, not on top of them, not their upline, their boss, but you're just there with them, and you're there to help them, and be part of something together, that's where the success happens. And it's true success. And you can import that success anywhere else on any kind of other business if you imprint it. This restaurant here, I remember when this started, guys that own this place have known my wife and I forever because they used to work at another restaurant. And when this place first started, man, there was a lot of stress. Nobody knew if it was going to work. It's like, oh my gosh, can we really make this work? And it was just some guys. And then they came looking for money. Because they had to have some money. But they also had a lot of stress. Because they were leaving another place and they were looked upon as pariah by the other people. And they had initially a bit of a difficult time starting this restaurant. Has anybody ever been here before when this place is packed?
Yes.
Yeah? It gets packed, right? I mean, packed. And it's wonderful. The numbers are great. Here we are years and years later, and this place is rolling. Why? Because through all those rough waters and all those hard times and all that doubt and fear and worry and just pushing through it, and a team of people keeping each other in the game, this place not only lives, it thrives as a business. It's a great example. It's not a direct selling example, I know, but it's a real world example that I'm very close to. So just understand that. And that applies to anybody. So that's really sort of just a prelude for me. I guess the one thing that comes to mind, attention and intention. I learned in this direct selling, you and all the direct sellers that I've come in contact with over these years have taught me something. I think network marketing and direct selling as a profession, this is not any individual. So this means there's tremendous opportunity for you to succeed. Because I think as a profession has ADD. I think it has attention deficit disorder. Like, you know, sometimes people tell your kids have, or you have ADD, or we have to put labels on everything, right? I think the whole profession in network marketing and direct selling has attention deficit disorder. People are bouncing all over. They just, I mean, it's just like people bounce around and they waste their team all day long. Time, energy, effort, money. They just waste it because they're doing pop, 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 pop. I think if somebody just focuses, like this guy or that guy, or some of you have done probably to have your successes, if anybody does that, you can clearly win in this game. Because everybody else is running around with their pants on fire. They don't know what they're doing. They have no clue. So you bring some order to disorder, some clarity to the fog, get above the noise, and you know how you do that? Attention. Attention. A-T-T-E-N-T-I-O-N. Your attention on what? Your intention. Because all the people with their hair on fire, running around not being productive, they're wasting their time. High activity levels. Have you ever known anybody that works really, really, really hard and they're just so busy every day, but they have zero productivity? They're zero productive. Have you ever known anyone like that? A lot of people? Most people? Yeah, I know. It's because they don't put their attention on their intention. They have the intention, I'm going to do it, do it, do it. I'm going to have a Ferrari. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pay off my house. I'm gonna. And they always talk about what they're gonna do, not what they're doing. And they can't talk about what they've done because they haven't done anything. So they have to talk about what they're gonna do. Whoa. And they say, well, that's dream casting. Yeah, well, dreams are things you have in your sleep. They don't pay the bills. Am I telling you to not have a dream? No, I want you to have a big dream for your life, for your future. I want you to have the biggest of dreams. But I want you to focus on today. I want you to put your attention on your intention. If you intend to succeed, then you have to put your attention on that, and you have to do the things to succeed, right? I mean, doesn't that just make sense? So why would you do other things? So if you see something's not working, don't keep doing it just because it's fun. Talk to somebody that knows how and do the right things. So I just see people don't have their attention, A-T-T-E-N-T-I-O-N, on their intention. And so their attention is everywhere else. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. So I think that if you take some of these words and these perspectives and understand the company for what it is today and what it's becoming, and if you can have that vision, you'll understand you're a part of something that is growing into itself. I believe this company, this business, is already predestined because I already believe everything in the universe is already there anyway. I believe in this universal divine matrix and we're all connected. And I think everything in the universe is already there and it's just up to us to go achieve what our Creator is waiting for us to achieve. Isn't that interesting? Philosophy? Without bringing religion or spirituality into this. But the reality is, I promise you, look, I came from a lower middle class American family. I played baseball. It's all we did in my family is play baseball. We were pretty good at it, but we played baseball. That was like our thing. Baseball and mow the grass. That's what we did. Oh, take out the trash and clean the driveway, whatever else as a kid I had to do. But I grew up in a lower middle class American family, but I just happened to be put in the presence of people, and I was fortunate enough that they helped me, and they taught me, they guided me in how to do what we do all the time. And it's that guidance that is now our responsibility, right? Do you feel a responsibility in your business? Do you feel a responsibility to grow your business? Do you feel a responsibility to the people in your business? I know Abby does, that's why I'm here. He feels responsible to all of you. Mike feels, all these guys, you all feel responsible for those people that are in your organizations, right? You want them, you care about that. That's a big deal, folks. That's a big deal. So with that, if you have any questions of me right now, I'm happy to. Abby told me take as much time as I want, so I don't know how much time I've taken, but he said however much I want. So that means you can ask me whatever you want, because we're not time.
I have one question for you. Okay, as you mentioned, I heard about you share something about the Southeast Asian country, like Laos, Cambodia, especially Vietnam. And could you share some thought about the process of the name? And
yes.
As we know that in the past, Organo had the market in Vietnam already. And how we prevent the problem before. And what your company, what Organo company expect, what expectation about the market of 100 million people? Please share some big opportunity for us.
Yeah, well, that's a great question. And Organo, when again we buy this company in 2018, in early 2019, I was in Hong Kong. We've had an office there for 15 years. So I was just in Hong Kong. I was working on some things. Organo was one of those things. And I got a call. And someone had called Organo Corporate and asked and said, well, they were from Interpol. You ever heard of Interpol? You don't want to get a call from Interpol. It's like not a good call to get, right? That's not DoorDash, it's Interpol. And so that means international police. For those of you who don't know what Interpol is, Google INTERPOL, and you'll realize real fast you don't want to get a call from Interpol. So there was this call, and it was like, well, do you guys know where these people are? No, who are these people? Well, they're these people that, you know, do these things, and Organo is involved in it, and it's all in Vietnam. And I said, Vietnam? Well, I was going from Hong Kong to Bangkok to go to Vientiane to go to Vietnam. I was bouncing around, and I said, well, I better change my ticket. I don't want to go to Vietnam then and be a part of Organo, and it sounds like a bad place for me to be. I may never make it in the country, and I'm, you know, like this. I don't want to do that. So I figured, oh, what's going on here? Well, what I learned was there were some people in Vietnam that were doing some bad things with Organo, and they really did some really bad things with Organo. They really did some bad things and used the Organo brand to give them cover to do these bad things. They were ripping people off. They were illegally selling promotional packs and never delivering the promotional packs. It was very, very messy. So we did what every good company would do, and we got an alignment with the authorities, and we helped find them. And they're now in prison in Vietnam because that was the right thing to do. Plus, they mess up our brand. And to me, you mess up our brand, that's really bad, right? Because the brand matters. Because if the brand gets messed up, your opportunity gets messed up. Because it's what people think. And it was in the press. It was really bad. So we worked with the authorities, and ultimately the Vietnamese government was very good. There was a press release put out that Organo had helped in this whole thing, that these people were arrested. The company was part of helping resolve it. And we've been now, you know, blessed that the Vietnamese government now has for a few years. It's good with Organo. But you know what Vietnam did? They changed the rules on the direct selling in 2019. They changed the rules. That made it very difficult to continue to do the business there, and for Organo to continue to do the business there in that way. So we stopped the direct selling in Vietnam, and we focused on what else can we do to keep our brand positive, waiting on a time when it would make sense to re-engage in the business in Vietnam. So we had some press releases. We always would include Vietnam in all our press releases, with the work Organo did with IBM and blockchain, the work that we did with all these different things. We'd always make sure that the release went into Vietnam in Vietnamese, just to keep the brand positive in the eyes of anybody that looked. And so we did that, waiting a time when it would make sense to go back in with more energy into that overall market. We've recently made some changes in Thailand, and we were going to we had been managing all of Southeast Asia out of Thailand. Thailand was our base of operations, our headquarters for Asia, or for South Asia. We've changed that now, and now a guy named NHřejN, who's worked for me for 20 years, 18 years, runs all of Asia out of Hong Kong. And now all the markets have an equal footing And now we'll just see which markets really go up. So that means we can go back into Vietnam. It means we can go to Cambodia. It means we're growing our business in Laos. We're putting an office in Vientiane as well. We're looking for the same thing in Vietnam and in Cambodia. And I was on a call with them last night, knowing I was coming today to talk with all of you, and that would probably come up. So I thought it made sense to know exactly where we are with things there. So our intention is to re-enter Vietnam. We are taking some guidance on the best way to re-enter Vietnam. And we think maybe we do a preliminary thing where we can put Vietnam flag back up. We can put the Vietnamese flag back up in the back office. We can allow but we made so many changes to the website and everything that we still have to now do all the translation back for all the new content into Vietnamese. So all that's underway at the moment. It's, you know, you make a decision, then you realize all the work that has to go into it to get it executed on. Because we don't want the old content, because it's not the content anymore, right? So that's happening. I'm very enthusiastic about Vietnam, but I'm enthusiastic about the whole region. Actually, I'm enthusiastic about Cambodia. What we have going on there right now is interesting. What we have going on in Laos is very interesting. Thailand is, you know, all of it is quite interesting. How it's going to grow, though, once we provide the framework for all of you, is in large part up to you. So that's what we're going to do. But my question to you would be, when we have the framework, what are you going to do? Are you going to go make it happen in Vietnam? Can you make it happen in Vietnam?
Yes.
Or do we go, you know, do I got to hire somebody in Vietnam and have them going around with their briefcase with Peter going around trying to find somebody who wants to do this thing? Because if I got to send him over there with a briefcase to find some Vietnamese guy that's like him to go find people that are like you, I got a problem. That's going to make me crazy. So I want to make sure that when as we do this, that you can all help us make it matter, make it successful. Because we can't, I mean, Peter's great, but can you imagine Peter in Ho Chi Minh City looking for somebody like him to put his briefcase to go find a bunch of people like you? I mean, oh my word. I mean, maybe 5 years from now we have 10 people. Not that Peter's that bad. I just don't think that's the way to do it. So it's going to look, the actual success of the market is going to in large part be with all of you. We're doing the same thing in Africa. We used to have in Africa EMEA. We still have EMEA, but we're shifting it. EMEA, EMEA, Europe, Middle East, Africa, all in London. Right? That's how it was all set up at Organo. We've been slowly changing that. We just hired a person to bring the business in Italy. We just hired a person that but they live in Milan, not in London. See, we could administer EMEA from London, but we can't grow Organo from London in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. We can only grow the UK from London. We have to grow Italy from Milan, and we have to grow Spain from Spain, and Germany, Austria from the Dutch region, from someone that lives in Vienna. So we've hired all those people up so that they can work locally with all those distribution partners and not just get on phone calls with London. You can do some things with that, but it just didn't make sense to us. So this whole new model of being closer to the market with our corporate resources and funding those things up properly is where we're at now in the stage of the growth of this business subsequent to us acquiring the business in 2018. we didn't plan on a pandemic where we had to go back, we had to go back in and retract a little bit and work. But 2020 was the fastest growing business year in 7 years in the middle of a pandemic. So that's just a good testament to how organo people, organo distribution partners embrace their work. And I'm very proud of all of you and all of them. And I look at the numbers. I know that you are all very serious about this. We have similar type growth on the African continent right now. We just opened Namibia. So now we have South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria. Abby has been over at Nigeria, and it's really funny. I was telling the people, Abby, the other day on a corporate call, I said, we need like more Blancas and Abby's and Marcus's and Donatos. We need more of those people, because where they go, the business grows, right? Where some people go, the business grows. And that's like here, the leadership in this, and here. You guys, where all of you go, the business grows. So you just have to find more and more and more of people like you as a company. But the only way we're going to do that is if we make your organo experience a great experience. If we make your organo experience I think you can go find anywhere. There are a lot of direct selling companies. You can go to a whole bunch of companies. I don't want you to come to a company. I don't want people to come to a company. I want them to come to an experience. And then I want to work really hard to make their experience awesome. And if we do that, we all win. I mean, that's how we talk, right? That's exactly how we do this. So our decisions aren't just in the corporate office. Yes?
Can we back to the Vietnamese market thing again?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it confirmed now that we at the Vietnamese market gonna open, or it's just the planning?
It's confirmed that we're in the process, but we don't have all the translation. We don't have everything done we need done yet. But we can begin to work and put the flag back up, and then put people back in the business through our Thailand office to administer the accounts through the Thailand office in software. That's a software thing. But what we didn't want to do is open it up so that it would be administered in Thailand, and Vietnamese people would see Thai content. We wanted Vietnamese people to see Vietnamese content. So that means the content has to be right. So we have to make the content right. So people are working on that now. And then as soon as we do that, then we can look at the enrollment path. But and we have some guidance from you also, some guidance from you. If you think you could start building back again in Vietnam, and we can make it happen, and you don't care what language it's in, I'm not sure I care what language it's in either. You don't care, because it's your businesses, right? I would prefer it to be right, because I think it represents the brand more correctly. And nothing's, there are people in Vietnam already, as you probably know. Some of them are probably in your group. You probably already have people. Some of you probably already have people in Vietnam working through Thailand, so you already know you can do it.
Yeah, I just have a little concern regarding the what happened in the past. That still, those people already, like they got fraud, that purchasing the promotion and then they didn't get it. Are those people gonna impact until now if we come back there to introduce about organo again, and then they're gonna be against those?
I don't know. I'm a businessman. I'm not a magician. I have no way of knowing what anybody else is going to do, or how anybody else. If I ever can how anybody's going to think before they think it, I'll let you know, and then we'll go make a whole bunch of money together. I have no idea what people are going to think. I can't control what they think. I don't even care about what they think, frankly. I have a business to build, and I can't build it worrying about what other people think. If they don't like it, they don't like it. That's just tough. Don't like it. I don't care if they don't.
Yeah, okay, please go more detail on the plan as you can share.
Yeah.
For example, you know that the Vietnam probably the first or second country export the coffee. So when our company re-entry the second time to Vietnam, then you mentioned about that to compete with inside the market. How Vietnam is the first or the second country export coffee. We may adjust the business model, and we may adjust the price, or we may adjust the kind of product.
There's a lot of things we can do in Vietnam. Vietnam, for those of you that don't know, Vietnam is a net coffee exporter. All right? Welcome. It's a net coffee exporter. That means Vietnam exports more coffee than it consumes on its own. And you know what? That's awesome. One of the things we've done at Organo is we've been meeting with the Vietnamese government, and I can't stream this up, but I can show you from last night. It's just so good you asked that question. It's a great time for the question. So there's a big meeting going on in Vietnam right now, or going on in South Asia right now about this stuff. And these are our representatives last night talking about all things related to our business with these trade delegation officials from Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. And we're talking about export opportunities for Organo. And so our deal is going to be something like, with Vietnam, something like this, where Organo can localize some of our coffee purchases from Vietnam. So we begin to buy from Vietnam, we contribute to the export for the country, but we can also create jobs in Vietnam by manufacturing our product in Vietnam, distributing it locally in Vietnam, and importing the mushrooms for the rest of the market. So all of these talks are going on, and we're very far along. That's how we had that delegates meeting over the last 2 days. That's why I was on the phone with them last night. So these are high-level conversations, because let me tell you something. One thing I should let you know, first and foremost, Organo is not a direct selling company. Network marketing is not an industry. Network marketing is a method, a means, a way to move products and services from the company to the market. It's a method. Network marketing is a method. It's not a way. It's not an industry. So when people say network marketing industry, you can't go to Wall Street and say, I want to invest in a spider, or I want to invest in a fund that's for the network marketing industry. They'll look at you like, are you crazy? Because network marketing is a method of distribution. Please understand that. Because you have to understand that to understand this. Organo is not a network marketing company. Organo is a company. Organo is a company that uses direct selling and network marketing through giving people opportunity and distributing our products and services through those individual business owners, those distribution partners. So Organo succeeds to the extent it helps you succeed. That's the key, because the corporate is now focused on being a company first. That's why we'll talk to the Vietnamese authorities. That's why we go meet with the mayor. That's why Peter's here and goes around the world talking to the mayors of Milan, or the mayor of this city or that city, introduce them to Organo, what we're doing, our ESG initiatives. Has anybody here seen the Bags for Life program on the Organo Global website? Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, if you haven't seen it, you should go look, organoglobal.com, and find the Bags for Life program. Because Bags for Life is a program where we take up the sachets, people can send them in, the tops are cut even, they're washed and cleaned, they're sent back out to the markets in Malaysia, the Philippines, Mexico, Bolivia, and people, mostly ladies that have children that they need to support in those communities, they make these beautiful handbags that look like Louis Vuitton bags. We have sold those bags at auction for $3,000. They are absolutely beautiful. Shella Chua, if you don't, Shella, that's the bag she carries. And Shella Chua carries Fendi, but she carries Organo because they are that beautiful. And they make clutches and purses. It's all about bags. We call it Bags for Life. But what does that do from a company perspective? First of all, it helps us support the communities that Organo operates in. It gives additional opportunity on top of opportunity. For mostly women that are trying to do better to feed their kids, it gives them a job. That's a good thing. And the money made from those bags goes back into those communities. And if that lady makes a bag, she gets paid for that bag right away. We use a program called OG Pay. They have it, they get it, boom. And they can use the OG Pay Visa anywhere with a virtual visa. So it's awesome. So that program is just rolling. But the other thing it does, it takes millions of sachets out of the trash, out of the dump in your trash can and creates something good with it. You understand? So the environmental impact that Organo has on the environment is less. So it's all this stuff that happens from a little idea like that. And the question was, what can we do to help these ladies that are in these communities? What can we do to help this orphanage or that? It's just that we don't even talk about it, we just do it. But I think if you just do something good and you don't talk about it, it's not maybe known by all the people, but it's known by who matters. And it will come back to you in good. Good begets good. So we have to have that kind of corporate philosophy, right? So think about it when you think about, and you ask these questions, understand, Organo is a company first. We not only have your back in the network marketing, we have your back in the market. We're talking to public officials all over the place. We understand trade delegations. We know about lobbying. We understand, because we have other portfolio companies around the world. So we know what we have to do to make the opportunity real. Otherwise, it's just a company trying to figure out a way to go wiggle its way into a market to sell its products. But if I go to THAM and I say, hey, look, we're going to do this. We want to be a partner in prosperity with Lao. How do we do this? We work together. Peter puts this FMG stuff together, and all of a sudden we have a program. Now you know what you have when you have a program? You have legitimacy. Legitimacy. Because now you can be loud and proud to be there. Now that Organo brand is a little bit closer to our grandchildren knowing it as well as we know IBM as a brand. So we have to think about it like that. I think we have to think about it like that. Now what's going to happen here is, it's like 11:38. So we have 20 more minutes for questions, comments, whatever.
Yeah, last question.
Then we're going to get some food. And if you've never eaten here, it's a lot of meat. So if you're vegetarian, then it's all right to be here if you're they got a lot of vegetables. But just don't get grossed out by all the meat.
Yeah, we take your expectation. How soon that we can
Abby asked me that very question the other day in my office. And I promised him that I would have him an answer for that by the end of this month, which is next week. So, yeah, so we'll have an answer next week. But I will tell you, it was a lot of fun last night. I didn't realize. I don't know enough. I guess I don't know enough about Vietnam. I guess, but I didn't know. I learned last night that there are trade agreements between Vietnam and other countries. And you know, if you look at everything going on in the world today and all the problems, and then I go to this thing, I'm in on this call last night, and the Vietnamese guy from Vietnam, the Vietnam guy from the delegation, is telling me about how awesome it would be if I could now meet his Russian friend to go to Russia because of this awesome relationship with Russia, right? And I said, well, that may have to be our Vietnamese partner at the moment, because our government is not shining a smile on Russia, and Russia's probably not shining a smile on us at the moment because of conflict. There's always conflict. So we have to deal with these things. But it was very interesting what the Vietnamese guy had to say about the trade agreements that exist between many, many different countries and Vietnam. Vietnam has many, many trade agreements with countries. You would be surprised some of the countries Vietnam has trade agreements with. Switzerland. Wow, that's interesting. So you mean I could manufacture my product in Vietnam, sell it in Switzerland, and have no duty? Exactly. Wow, wait a minute. See, it just changes thinking. But if we never had this meeting with these officials, we would never know all this. So we're very active as a business. We're not just figuring out what your next, you know, we're not just figuring out what the next pack like this is supposed to look like. We're out there really trying to drive opportunity. Any other questions? Anything? Everybody ready for steak? So if you haven't been here, red means you don't want any steak or you're vegetarian or something. Green means bring me more steak. And then they'll start bringing all kinds of different steak, and you can say yes or no to that or this. Maybe not even steak, it's all kinds of meat. This is the meat place. So red is no more, green is I want more. Okay. And there's some vegetarians. Maybe have some vegetarians too. Is the salad bar open, or you can do it from the back?
The salad bar is open.
Okay.
So head to self, make your own salad first, and then whenever you're ready to start with the meat, you guys overeat. So meat server, they come around the table, they size the meat.
Okay.
They serve beef, lamb, chicken, shrimp, and pork. Also, we bring a hot side dishes, like mashed potato, rice, beans, chimichurri, and hot sauce. So we bring everything.
They'll bring it all here to you, but the salad bar's out there, and the salad bar here is awesome. So I recommend the salad bar. If you're a vegetarian, I really recommend the salad bar, because that's about where you're going to have to go.
All right, so you guys start with the salad, okay? Please
Yeah,
enjoy.
thank you very much.